I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. How are we doing today? It's interesting, I'm filming this before noon. I have no idea when you'll be able to see it because of the way the uploads have been. Today I'm going to address questions about endorphins, endorphin dump. I'm going to eat a really beautiful pepper with a jalapeno with a lot of corking. These lines are what you call corking. Almost looks like a pickle, right? As far as corking, I've had a lot of questions about corking. Does it change heat? Are they hotter? Are they something wrong with them? I've had people that said they threw their peppers out when it had corking on them. There's nothing wrong with corking. It doesn't hurt the pepper, it doesn't, to my knowledge, and I've eaten a lot of them. I don't think it makes them any hotter. It just is what it is. Beautiful cross cut. Very thick-walled pepper. It smells beautiful. It smells green and fresh and crisp. I want to talk about the endorphin rush because that's a big reason that some people are doing it. When I first started eating peppers, I had no bearing on it whatsoever. It wasn't on my horizon. It wasn't even on my radar or something I wanted. I just wanted to eat peppers. When it happens, it's beautiful. Yeah, but this will continue. So tasty. A good way to think about how to achieve an endorphin rush, and it is what it is. Panic mode and endorphin rush they walk hand in hand. Now, if you look here, there's no placenta right here, but if you look here is where the placenta actually starts. That spongy area is the placenta. And that is where the heat resides. As we've learned from a recent video, confirmed what I've always sort of suspected. Not always. When I first started eating peppers, I thought seeds were hot, like everybody. After you start eating them long enough, you realize they're not hot. So there's no heat in the seeds, but there certainly is in the placenta, which is what kind of holds the seeds together. Endorphin rush, you've got to go, I've said this so many times, you have to go past your comfort zone. And that's where people get stuck. Because people eat something hot and they retreat. It's at that moment that you got to eat more. I've had people ask some pretty interesting questions lately. Mark asked a great one. So, and a lot of you have asked this question also, so it's not just Merck, but if you're eating peppers and you get an endorphin rush, but you continue to eat hot stuff, what will happen? I don't know if there's a hard, fast rule that you only get one endorphin rush per pepper session, so to speak, but that's all I've experienced. I don't think you can have a second. And the reason, I don't know for sure, but the reason I don't think so is countless times, after the endorphin rush hit, you guys have watched it, I continue eating. Now, what will happen in a situation like that is the endorphin rush hits, and my pain and my heat level will drop, like that. If I keep eating, it will ratchet back up, and you will not get a secondary endorphin rush. I haven't anyway. And I don't know that anybody has. You want to hear my theory on it? I'm not a doctor. I'm just a chilihead. But here's my theory. You have reserves of endorphins somewhere stored in your pharmacy, in your body. When it's released, they pull the plug and it floods your body. It's not like it's on tap where they just turn the faucet on and then turn it off. Think of it as a tank that holds your endorphins. When you have a problem and you experience pain, whether a broken arm, something hot, it floods your body. That's it. And that, think of it like a tube that held all your endorphins is empty. It takes a while to build those up again. That's just my theory. I don't really know. But that's kind of how I think it works. Now, as far as, I had another great question. Someone said, can you get an endorphin rush from just a jalapeno? Specifically, they said, I don't need a lot of hot things. A jalapeno is very hot for me. Do you think a jalapeno can give me an endorphin rush? I'm sure it probably could. If somebody's never eaten anything hot and the first thing they endeavor to eat is a jalapeno, I think you probably could achieve an endorphin rush with just a jalapeno. I don't see why not. And the reason I say that is, if you've never experienced any kind of heat before, here's the top, the base of it. If you've never eaten anything hot before, a jalapeno can put you into panic mode, you know? I'm at a point now, and I'm like this every pod season. I get to a point where, if I eat 4 or 5 Reapers, I'm not gonna, or Primatali, I probably won't get an endorphin rush for 4 or 5, from 4 or 5. 10, and I'll get one. So I think, when the pepper season starts all over again, the off season, I eat a lot of sauce and powders, everything else, and my tolerance for pods drops. When pod season picks up again, if I came out of the gate and the first pod I ate on the new pod season was a Primatali, I still don't know that I would get an endorphin rush. Signs of an endorphin rush. So how you know it's happening. Isn't that pretty? Now that's the tip of the pod was here, and the base of the pod was back here. See the difference in color? And you can sort of see, it picks up a lot of color as the placenta moves forward. Signs of an endorphin rush. Your fingers will tingle. I'm not saying it always will. These are some of the symptoms that people experience. Tingling fingers, tingling toes, feeling like a rush go over your body, kind of feeling lightheaded. Some people get super chatty when the endorphin rush hits and they talk a lot. Some people don't. I've seen countless videos where someone was eating something hot, and as it hits, they start rearranging their desk on video. It's hilarious. What that is your mind trying to stay busy to distract you from what's going on. I think one of the reasons I really appreciate and love an endorphin rush is that too often times in life, when you get an endorphin rush, it's not from a pleasant experience. You know what I mean? I was 13 years old. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was with my dad, Papa Scova, and my Uncle Phil. We were skiing in Vermont. I was a great skier. I started skiing when I was 2. So I was a good skier. I was going very fast and I fell. And when you ski, if you're not a skier, you have these long skis attached to your feet. They have bindings that hold your boot in. And they have to be adjusted properly for your weight and how aggressive a skier you are. These were set far too tight and they didn't pop. They didn't pop off. I fell and my leg rotated, only the ski didn't come off. And I broke my left leg in several places. I had a great endorphin rush then. It hurt for a second. I remember feeling intense pressure and I heard a crack and then the pressure stopped because my leg broke. And I was in pain. I screamed, and then shortly after that, I was fine. It's true. I think I had another great question. Is an endorphin rush the same thing as an adrenaline buzz? And I don't think they are. I think they're sort of cousins, but they're not related. And here's why I have surmised that. You ever get into a car accident where you hit something? Or even not even an accident, a close call, where something swerves in front of you and you almost get in an accident, your adrenaline flies. That's not helping you with any pain. If I bit you on the arm, you'd feel it. So that is a little different than endorphins. Endorphins, to me, they're similar in how it's released into your body. It's stored in the same place in your body, in my head. But the feeling is far different. So here's the best advice. If you're somebody who is accustomed to jalapeno and you've never had a habanero, I'm telling you, if you ate a full habanero, you'd probably get an endorphin rush. If you're somebody who's on habanero and that's where your comfort pepper is, if you ate a full ghost pepper, you're gonna catch an endorphin rush. And again, all it is your body's way of throwing you a bone. You got pain, something's wrong. Let's help them out, release the endorphins, and it floods your body and you feel great. It's so immediate with me. On a big, strong one, I've had, and there are videos, I wish I should have a category of endorphins, but I don't. Somebody will probably know where some of them are, but I've had some where my pain was at an 8. I'm having trouble talking, and I'm just struggling. And I eat one more thing, and then it's just like you're at a doctor. I had a kidney stone once. Went to the doctor, I was in agony, and they gave me a shot of morphine. The second they hit the plunger, I started to feel better. It's that immediate. It's that immediate. And not to get into drug talk, but I had somebody yesterday ask if it's like, if it's like what buzz. This person said, I've been addicted to drugs a lot through my life and I've done them all. What drug is it, what buzz is it similar to? And this is a sketchy thing to talk about because I don't want people to think, here's what it is. The closest buzz that I can relate it to is an opiate buzz. If you've had a Vicodin or a Percocet or something, it's far more of an opiate feeling than anything else. So in my head, I kind of view it as your body's natural opiates assisting you and helping you out. I certainly have had 2 endorphin rush in one day. No problem there, but only one at one time. If you're somebody who doesn't eat hot stuff at all, complete non-chili, I reckon a strong jalapeno could give you an endorphin rush. But what you have to remember, if that's something you really want to achieve, I have a great friend named Mike I've known for a very long time. Haven't talked to him in years, but he said he was a musician. And he said if you want to dance, you got to pay the band. And when we're talking about endorphin rush, their currency is cap cramps a lot of the times. So, another great question. Endorphins don't hang around, because I had somebody ask, will endorphins help with cap cramps? If I was in the middle of cap cramps and then the endorphins hit, I think it probably would assist a little. The problem is, if I eat a pod that's going to give me stomach cramps, it usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes for those to kick in. By that time, the endorphin rush is gone. Now, people have asked me, how long? It's another great question. How long does the endorphin rush last? All right. And I think that is when you're brand new at it, it's gonna last the longest. It's kind of the way it is. It's just like somebody who does an illegal drug. They feel something and they want to feel it again, so they chase it again. They want to capture that feeling again, and sometimes they can't. People that do heroin, it's called chasing the dragon. We do peppers, so it's chasing the heat. But you know, here's the thing: once you start experiencing it, you'll become familiar with it. An endorphin rush, a really strong one for me. The effects can last as long as 45 minutes. When you first start, I think that first endorphin rush is a very big deal, and I think it tends to last longer. Just like when you're a chili head, you're brand new at it. If you ate a Reaper and you're brand new, it's going to affect you for hours. I eat a Reaper, it's going to affect me for 15 minutes, maybe. Because when you're when you're more experienced, you like experienced chili head. I've kind of hardcore. If I had somebody next to me that wasn't, I peak, if we both ate a Reaper, I peak very quickly, and it comes down very quickly. Somebody who's not accustomed to heat, it's going to take a lot longer to peak and a lot longer to come down. And I sort of feel it's kind of similar with the endorphin rush. When you first get endorphin rush, it feels a little bit, to me, it's a little longer. It never gets old. It'll never get to the point where it doesn't feel beautiful. Endorphin rush, to me, it's a beautiful feeling. And part of the thing that makes it so beautiful is that what we're doing is legal. I've had some people say, like, I used to drink. I'm 3 years, 4 months, and 4 days sober. And I've had people say, you just traded one drug for the other. You betcha. You betcha. Alcohol's a bad drug. Endorphins, peppers, if you want to call it a drug, healthy and beautiful for you. So if you want to think of it in those terms, you betcha. Anytime you can trade one drug for another drug that's going to be healthier for you, better for you, you got to think about it. Trying to think of some of the other questions that people have asked about endorphins. You know, I've said this a lot of times too. If you, in the middle of a hardcore endorphin rush, like it's really hit me hard, if a police officer stood next to me and said, I'm going to give you some roadside dexterity test, do this number here, you know, and walk a straight line, balance on one foot, you would show signs of somebody under the influence. So that's kind of an important thing to know. I've joked, and I've said this jokingly in the past, but if you get a really hardcore endorphin rush, you know, you're going to eat something really hot, don't drive a car for a while. I've said this at events tons of times. You know, somebody wants to buy a tube of terror, you know, don't drive after it, because you are under the effects. It does throw off some of your your motor skills. So just, you gotta respect it. The pepper is to be respected, but you could also have a lifelong love affair and fun with it. It's a beautiful thing. If you got, this is a good video. If you have an endorphin question or an endorphin story, please, in the comments on this video, put your questions. If you have additional questions I haven't touched base on about endorphins, put it in this, and I will do another video ahead, assuming there are some questions. I'll do another video about endorphin rush. All right, but if you had your first endorphin rush and that's something you've experienced, I'm so happy for you. I gotta tell you something. There must be 1,000, there are over 600,000 comments on the channel. There's probably 1,000 where someone says, I got my first endorphin rush today. Oh, I wish I could hug that person in that moment. It's such a beautiful thing. And you know what's special about that? Look at how the other riders on the bus react. They're like, oh man, congratulations. That's special. It's beautiful. And you won't forget it. So if you have your first endorphin story, go to the comment section and say so, and I will address them again. We'll do another video about endorphins, okay? I hope you guys have a great day. Let's make it spectacular, right? Let's finish the weekend strong. Tell somebody you love them. Be kind to somebody. You know how much it costs to be a good, decent human being? That's how much it costs. Why aren't we all doing it? Let's be that way. Let's have somebody, it should be getting to the point where that person's so nice, they gotta be on the bus. It has to be. That's what we all need to be like. And I know you can do it. I know you can. Because if I can, you can. In the description box, you're gonna see all the normal links. Check them out. Right there is the pepper. If you click that pepper, we're riding together. We're doing this all together. It's a mutual experience. If you don't wanna miss a video because spicy content is your thing, then click the bell for notification. You will see a drop box, select all. But man, you better visit us a lot if you don't want to miss anything, because YouTube forgets notifications. Right there is Legal Fire. More videos there. I love you guys. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the Heat.